Peace and blessing, family. Peace and blessing. Okay, so again, I am addressing the issue with our sisters in dancehall and the beefs that they have been having. One may ask, brother, what interest do you have? Or how is it that you, as a minister of religion, has an interest in dancehall beef? What's going on with the sisters in dancehall? And I would answer that by saying whatever goes on in whatever sphere of our society that influences our people as people who profess God, there must be an interest, because once it has something to do with the people and the masses of the people, we must have an interest in that. And I must say this also, that the dancehall artists are the greatest influencers that we have in our society. They carry the biggest interest in our society, are the biggest influence in our society. So of course it should concern me, whatever, or it should concern all of us, whatever is going on with our sisters in dancehall, because they are a part of what we could refer to as the Pied Pipers. See, they are vanguards, they are leaders, they are gods in music. See, people praise them, people look up to them, people worship them. And the three sisters who are foremost in the beef that is going on right now are, of course, the top sisters that you have as influencers in dancehall, except of course Minister Marian Hall has stepped away from the dancehall circle, from that genre, and she's now, in religion, in Christianity. So I'm addressing the issues regarding Tanya Stevens, Minister Hall, and Spice. Let me begin by saying also that Tanya Stevens is not a sister that I know personally. I've only seen her on videos, and I've only listened to her music, but I've never met her physically, not once, not in a dance hall, not on a stage show, nowhere. I've never met Tanya Stevens. I grew up in the same community with Gracie. Gracie and I grew up in the same community. That's Spice. Her mom and I have a very good relationship. I respect her mom and her mom respects me. I know that of a fact. So I'm not here to be disrespectful to anyone. And no matter how you weigh my words and interpret them, I can't tell you how to interpret my words. But however you interpret them, I am not here to be disrespectful of Miss Angela's daughter. I would never do that. I will never do that. Okay, so I just wanted that to be clear, right? This young lady, the first time I discovered that she had talent as a Muslim at that point, we had a little community stage show, and I was looking around for performers, and someone told me about Gracie and told me that Gracie can sing. I went to her, she agreed, She came on the stage show, she sang, and she had the most beautiful voice that young lady can sing. I said, I don't know if she still has that voice, because I've never heard her sing in that way since she's been performing as Spice. I can't remember hearing her sing in that kind of melody that she sang with at that time. But we grew up together in the same community. Now, Minister Hall, I met once. And how I met her, at this point, I was not a Muslim. And we were putting on a stage show. A friend of mine and myself, we were putting on a stage show. But I was the main person, you know, to get the artist and put everything together. And so she was living in Brighton at that time, New Brighton. So I was told where she lived. I went to her house, told her what we were planning, and she gave me her picture. She gave me a small, black and white picture, yeah, to put on the poster. And so she came, she performed, and that was it. I've never had another encounter with her, physical encounter with her. I respect her for that. She never asked us for a dime. I just told her what we were doing. She came, she performed, and that was it. She never turned back to us to ask us for a dime or a dollar. Right? Okay, so that's my encounter with Minister Hall. So I'm watching what's happening now, right? And I'm listening to Tanya Stevens a few days ago, and she's expressing herself. I want to say this. I have to say this. That there was a time, should I say was? I want to say that as an artist, I respect Tanya Stevens. I see her as a very talented sister when it comes on to lyrics. She's versatile, extraordinarily so. The way she puts her lyrics together, you know, I've always spoken about her when I talk with my wife about artists and the females. I always stress on Tanya Stevens because she's gifted, she's talented. And listening to her now on her live, I wasn't on her live, of course. I was on YouTube, you know, doing what I do on YouTube. I listen to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I listen to other people on YouTube, but I see Tanya Stevens, you know, however they put it to sell, whatever the blogger who's sharing this puts up, you know, you want to listen because you already know what's going on. I've already addressed it. Here is Tanya Stevens now getting involved in it. I want to hear her take on the whole issue. And then listening to Tanya Stevens again, I said to myself, this sister is so bright, so educated. I'm going to leave out the word intelligent, and I'm doing that specifically for a reason. She is very educated in terms of her language and the way she puts her language. Well, some of her language, because if you listen to Tanya Stevens, maybe as a Christian you wouldn't listen to her. Maybe some Christians wouldn't listen to her. But as she rightly says, there are some people who are holier than thou. In the public and in private, they are not any better than some of these people that we judge and condemn. So I hear the language, I mean the curse words, but I listen to what she's saying. And of course, as I said, she's very bright, smart girl. Not only now is she smart, and I see now how she's able to write the kind of lyrics that she writes because of how high she is in her mind, in her thinking. But what bothers me is the eating out on one another of the sisters, throwing stones, throwing mud on one another. And the question from me is it really necessary? The mudslinging, is it really necessary? Of course, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us from the Holy Quran, where it says, go to the mud and purify yourself, that you can take a mud bath, and from that mud bath, you clean your pores, you detox your skin from a mud bath. So a mud bath can be good, and it can also be detrimental. It depends on how you take the mud. So if someone throws mud on you, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan says in the book Closing the Gap that there is water in mud. So here is mud, dirt, mixed with water. Water is life. Water purifies. So if there is water in the mud, the minister is saying sometimes in what appears to be dirty and ugly, there is truth in it. And if you can just take the truth from it, then you can make yourself better by it. But if it's going to be mudslinging, see, if you see two children playing and one child rubs mud in the other child's face, what's going to be the reaction of the other child? Hell, the other child is going to rub mud into the other child's face, and before you know it, it's going to be mud all over both children. And when we take these things and when we take mudslinging on a low childlike expression, we make a mess. We make a mess of ourselves, a mess of the other person, and a mess of the whole situation. So when I heard Sister Tanya Stevens, she was saying she woke up and she heard an artist saying what's wrong with the women in dancehall, and immediately she started to address that. How is the language? What happened to the women in dancehall when men in dancehall have been beefing all this time and nobody has anything to say about the beefs that men have been having in dancehall? So why is it that as women we are not allowed to beef? Sister Tanya, it makes a difference, my sister. Men and women are not the same. It's the truth. Men and women are not the same. But listen, there was a beef between Vibes Cartel and Mavado, and on 2 occasions the state got involved. The state got involved because it was going out of proportion. And people were harming people as a result of two brothers beefing on each other. And one was from the gully side and the other one was from whichever that was. And guess what? Gaza. So it was Gaza and Gully, and now people who were supporters of Gaza and who were supporters of Gully, they started beefing. They started fighting, and the conflict escalated. The state had to get involved, bring these two brothers together, sit them down, have them to speak, have them to shake hands, to settle what was going on in the society as a result of them beefing. And as I have said, women and men are not the same. As I said in my last video, the woman is the mother of civilization. No matter what you think, sister, it is from you that life comes. And it is determined that from you, because the woman is the first teacher, she's the first nurse, she's the first doctor, she's the first everything. Before we knew how to say Jesus, God, Muhammad, Mama was what we knew. Mama was our first God. So Mama is the one who introduced us to any God that we grew to know. So as the first teacher, sisters, what is it that you teach? What is it that you are going to teach? Or shouldn't we have any care in the world what you teach? What you teach, I don't want to get excited. Should what you teach be your prerogative and no concern of anybody? Sister Tanya, I'm asking this question. When you speak from your platform, when you sing, when you perform, shouldn't it be anybody's business? Is that what you're saying? Nobody should care? I tell you why I care. Because when I turn on my television, when I go on YouTube and my children are in the house, it's not just me that is hearing whatever it is that I'm listening to. So I have to be concerned about my children and what's going into their ear. So I know, sister, you will say, well, listen to what pleases you and leave what is no concern of yours alone. But I'm just one person in the society. What about the rest of the society? Do we just perform without the thought of the society in mind? There's a theory in science about the two hemispheres of the brain, the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere. And the theory is that persons who function from the left hemisphere are people who are analytical and methodical. So these people are what you would call thinkers. Now the left hemisphere is what is referred to as the analytical brain. And then there's the right hemisphere that is considered to be artistic, creative. So it's more from a physical perspective the right hemisphere functions from. And in music, all of you as musicians knows this. There is what is called binaural beats. Binaural beats is when you're listening to two separate sounds with a difference in hertz. So if you are if you're plugged in with your earphone or your headphone and you're listening to in one hemisphere, say the right hemisphere is 100 hertz and the left hemisphere is 110 hertz, your left brain processes the difference in the hertz separate and apart from the right hemisphere. And so the filter, listen to this, the filter, which is the analytical brain, the left hemisphere, if the difference between hertz is up to 4 hertz, then there is a misbeat in the right hemisphere where you are not able to filter the sounds that are coming in. So check this out. I'm a conscious individual. I have sense. I know the difference between right and wrong. And there is a music and it's being played. And there is a sound coming over into my right hemisphere. Kill, 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 kill. Kill a boy tonight, kill a boy tonight, kill a boy tonight. And I am not at such a developed level in my mind where my left hemisphere is so matured that it can flush that out, because I know that that's wrong. I know I shouldn't be killing anybody. Or take some drugs, take some drugs, take some drugs. Yeah? I know I shouldn't be taking any drugs. It doesn't affect me. How do we believe that people get hypnotized? It is the inability to actually filter out the hypnosis, the sound coming in that does the hypnotism. So words matter. Family, words matter. We can't just say words, whatever I say, I'm responsible, you are not responsible, and nobody should care about what I say. Do you know that sound can lift you? You can be depressed and somebody just says something to you and it lifts you out of depression. It's true. And you can be at a right state of mind and somebody just says the wrong thing to you and sink you in depression, depending on where you are in your analytical or your ability to analytically process words and sounds. So words matter. Words matter, Sister Tanya. And so, my dear sisters, Minister Marian Hall has taken this big step from dancehall into Christianity. Huge step. For whatever reason, she took the step. Nobody will really know. So nobody can say, well, she was afraid that somebody would come and take her position. So that's why she ran from dancehall into Christianity. What if? So Sister Tanya said, as a mature woman, it wouldn't look good calling men on stage to touch your private parts or touch your body in a certain kind of way. So you would have to grow away from that. I understand that. That's logical. That's a logical way of looking at it. But whatever reason it is that she stepped away from dancehall, that's a magnificent move. Why not praise her for that? Why not applaud her for that? Because, and of course, in truth, as I said, I've never seen Sister Tanya perform in any lewd manner. I don't know. I've not been one of those ardent stage show persons, ardent dancehall persons. So I don't know what goes on in dancehall, really. Not even back in the day. So you can't address dancehall then, brother. Please. Of course I can. I'm seeing what's happening. I'm listening. I can. Don't tell me I can't. But I wasn't somebody who was in the dancehall. You know, who was in the stage shows, looking at every stage show have to be there. No, that wasn't me. But based on listening to Sister Tanya's songs, I conclude that she was not one of those kind of performers. She wasn't one of those loose performers. Okay, fine. So she wasn't that. So she wasn't selling sex in her performances. She wasn't doing that. Minister Hall recognized that she used to do that. And she has taken the step of repentance. Now listen to this. If Spice thinks that this is the way to sell music, by selling her looks, the way she looks, I'm not going to say selling her body, because it may be interpreted in the wrong way. She's selling the way she looks. And if she believes, look, by selling the way I look, I will draw more attention, I will get more people to follow me, I will get more people to listen to me, I will make more money as a result of selling not the sound of my voice, not my talent, but the way I look. How long will Spice look the way she looks now? Yeah, I know they have body toning. I know people can pump up their bodies and tone up their bodies and do all of this kind of stuff. But how long? For how long? And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, as I've said before, time, gravity, nature will wear that body down. Whoever it is, mine, yours, whoever it is. Time will wear us out and wear us down. Now, I want to ask this question, and I'm not limiting it to any individual now. I'm asking this question to artists. When you are 70, if you live to be 70, or 80 years of age, sitting down, looking at your television with your grand and your great-grandchildren, listening to you promoting violence, yourself promoting violence, listen to yourself promoting sex in a lewd way, watching yourself at that time as an old man, as an old woman, behaving in a particular kind of way, how comfortable will that make you? Well, you may not care. You may say, well, yeah, I don't care. You know, people do all kind of things, and this is what I do. But I just want you to think about it, though. Just think about it. Think about yourself at 80 and 85 years of age. Not even wanting to go out in the streets at a certain way, for anybody to see you at a certain way. But and I imagine now when Minister Hall looks on those videos on YouTube and see herself, how does she think? But I'm saying she made a great transformation, and I respect her for that, and all of us should respect her for that. And all of you that is beefing with her should respect her for that. And I'm saying, as females, look, man, look, sisters, I mean, the society probably love what's going on. I mean, oh, they can't hear Tanya again. They can't wait. They can't wait to hear Minister Hall. Oh, them go and draw Minister Hall out. She will come back, man, and them will draw her out. And she will come back into the dance hall and wait till when Spice come again. And, oh, Minister Hall, leave it alone, sister. Leave it alone. And Gracie, you leave it alone as well. And Sister Tanya Stevens, you leave it alone as well. There's enough mud that has been thrown. And let the mud stay and process now. And pull out any unnecessary toxin or toxins that there are or were in the body. I'm appealing to you, sisters. Just let it end where it is now. And I'm going to talk further on this, but I'm going to put a pin in it right here. While I appeal to my sisters, let it end. Because this is what people who are on that level, this is what they love. They love filth. So they love, see the swine, it loves the mud. And when it goes into the mud, it bathes in the mud. It wallows in the mud. Stays in the mud. Finds pleasure in the mud. You take that swine, wash that swine off, and see if that swine doesn't come right back to the mud. So the people love filth. So if you're feeding filth, then guess what? They're going to love it. They're going to desire more. Give me more. Give me more. Don't give them no more. Sisters, don't give them any more of this mud. Let the swines go clean themselves up. Let people with that mentality, swine-like mentality, who love filth, let them go clean themselves up. You be teachers. You be teachers. I know that Gracie is an intelligent girl. I know that. I know that. Gracie, what if you decide? I know this isn't easy. Because, you know, I know what the thought is when it comes on to Minister Hall. Oh, she's not making any money over there, so she wants some of what's going on over here, that she can begin to make some money again, and blah blah blah. So I know when I say this, the thought may come, what you saying? What is it that you're saying, brother? Okay, so this is what I'm saying. I'm saying, Gracie, what if you start to make lyrics to teach? You did a wonderful lyrics one time where you spoke about bleaching. And that was a teaching lyrics. But you have it in you. All of you are teachers. Well, what is it that you're teaching? That's the question. Now, you have it in you to teach our children, our babies, the society, and lift the society up. And my appeal to you is that you do just that. That is what you need to do. That is what you should be doing. Teach. Teach the right thing. Say the right thing to lift our babies up. Look at where our society is. Don't you believe the lyrics is contributing? You better believe it. Look, the scientists tell you that even artistic children who don't speak, who don't respond to words, when they put them in EEG, they put their brains on EEG machines, they respond to music in a different way, and music makes children who would normally speak, and makes children who would normally smiles. You're powerful, sisters. You're powerful artists. All of you are powerful. If you just cut out the foolishness and do the right thing. And I know, I said I'm going to come back, and there's a reason why I'm going to come back. But I put a pin in it right there for today. God willing, I hope that this word reaches you, and I hope that you take time out to listen. Peace and blessing. God bless.